Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, we'll be talking about the sensational magician, Rodrigo Mora. And we're here with Mr. David. Welcome, David.
What's up, man? What's up, Ant?
So, Rodrigo Mora, David, you have, had stocks in this guy. I mean, before he even blew out this season, before he became the name that everyone's talking about. So there's no one better to talk about Rodrigo Mora than yourself. So
I think that
yeah,
yeah. I think the thing about Rodrigo Mora, I think what helped him bring me onto the scene or what caught my eye with him and the other Portuguese starlets was during the under 17 Euros where people me and Georges were petitioning for Portugal. We're hoping and campaigning for them to win the Euros and stuff. Well, unlucky they got knocked out to the Italian under 17 Italian team. But
yeah.
during then, if you just watched him and Giovanni Quenda play football, he was just it was like grown men against boys. Like some like Rodrigo Mora, I could call him I call him the Portuguese Messi because he's like Messi, in the sense that if you watch him play, he will make you stand up from your seat and clap because he's that exciting to watch. Trust. So yeah,
So,
we're
so,
here to give you a video about him. I hope it gives you a vivid image where he fits in PSG system.
so you'd explain him more, talk about him more, not as a great right winger, not as a great left winger, just a pure baller instead. Can play
Pure
across the
player,
attack.
yeah, a pure player, man.
I mean, he's obviously a breakout star at Porto this season. Hasn't played, that much. They're not pushing him into the 11 like a Yamal at Barca or, I don't know, someone else, like Warren for PSG last season. Why do you think he hasn't been pushed into the lineup as much? Is it because Porto are still a good side and they're not in need of, pushing him into the starting 11 that much?
Ever since he got his debut match, he's been kind of in and out of the main 11. But I think is one thing due to his age and due to his size. He's a very small person. He's like 5'5", 5'6". He's a very
Yeah.
small, and whether people like it or not, the league or not, is a very physical league. And especially him, nobody you know, instance where one of the biggest starlets in the league gets injured. So they've been managing him well, not forcing him to play full 90 sometimes, but he's always been in and out of the first 11, basically.
Yeah. Has he had any injuries this season?
Oh,
Or
he hasn't had any injuries this year. He's taking some hard tackles, but that's usually what playmakers always. Every playmaker in the generation will always take hard tackles because they're always technically gifted with the ball. They always know how to beat a man 1 or 2. They always like taking on people. So he has taken some hard crunching tackles, but no injuries this season. As of lately, let's not jinx it. Yeah.
all right. Um, looking at his heat map, it's a variety. Like he can be dropping down to the defensive side. He can be on the right side, left side, but it's a lot of central movement. So would you say he's more of a number 10 or like a second
Uh,
striker?
I'll say he was a second striker in the youth level. He also played as a second striker for the under 17s as well. But normally he plays for number 10. So I'll say he can play as a second striker or number 10. Or sometimes on
Okay.
the right also on the flank on the right hand side. I'll say the player that's more similar to him in our team is Desiree Doué. In the sense, physically they're not the same thing because Desiree Doué is more he can take tackles, he's built, his body's built. But in the
Yeah.
sense that they occupy the same spaces and they play very similar. They like taking on their people, they like beating people with their pace. They're very like Rodrigo Mora, if you give him the ball, he has two things on his mind. He wants to create danger and he wants to beat his man with his pace. He's I don't give him the Messi praise, but he's like a watered down Messi that's quick, and that's quick basically, but without the Messi X finishing basically. Does have the Messi passing, but the line breaking passes, the those type of runs where Messi just runs at 1 on 3 players and they can't touch him basically. That's what
Yeah.
Rodrigo Mora can do. Yeah, run at players, that dribbling. Yeah,
What
he has
would
that explosive pace.
what would you say his best three attributes are then?
I would say his best three attributes are dribbling, passing, and his pace and his explosive pace. Yeah, he's not explosive like a Vinicius or He's like a what can we say? Like a Neymar. Like you know how Neymar could just beat that with like without
Yeah.
like relying on play, yeah, something like that, yeah, like a Neymar.
Okay.
That's all I'll give.
Looking at his stats this season, 3 assists, 3 goals in 9 starts. Like for what is he, 17-year-old? It's still exceptional stats. I mean, these would be good stats for any kind of player. So, which also shows that he can be impactful. I remember one goal he scored, like that top left banger he scored in the beginning of the season for Porto. How would you talk about
Yeah.
his efficiency in front of goal? Because that's something always, young players, they don't have great decision making as more of an experienced player.
I would say his decision making is like above the rest of his classmates. Like in front of goal, if he has a chance, he's gonna bury it. He's gonna score the goal. In front, like he also like making the final, like whether choosing whether to pass or assist. He has very good decision making for that younger age. I think that's what allows the coach of basically of the Porto team and under 17 team to like playing in multiple systems because he is the system. He also
Yeah.
won like the best player in the under 17s because, like I said, if you watched him amongst like his classmates, he's like men against boys. He was that good that they promoted him from the under 15s to come and play with under 17s that early. Like trust me, man. Like this is the baller in the making. Like this could be like a one of a kind baller in the making.
With him having 3 assists and 3 goals, would you say he's a pass first guy or a score first guy?
Ooh. I'll say, ooh, that's a tough one. I'll say that's the tough one in the sense that like, hmm, it's not like because I'm trying because in like the reason I'm saying this is because in the league right now, for Porto, he's a pass first guy,
Yeah.
but under 17s, he was a shoot first guy. So I think like when he becomes that guy of a team, he's the shoot first guy. But
Okay.
when he's like a role player, he's a pass first guy. And you get what I'm saying? Like now, like how like Dembele before Dembele when he had Mbappe was a pass first guy because Mbappe was the man.
Yeah.
But now Mbappe is gone. Dembele's now a shoot first guy rather than a pass first guy. You get it?
Yeah. No, I mean, it shows that he's also very self aware. Like he knows how to
Yeah, but
impact the
self-aware,
team. He
yeah.
knows his role.
Yeah. He knows his role basically, yeah.
But when he has to be the main man, he will get you. He will get you the goals. I even
Well,
saw he
definitely,
was.
man.
We'll come to it later, but he was like the top goal scorer for under 17, under
Under
19
17
Porto
is
when they went to the semi. He had like 7 goals in 9 games.
yeah, he did. Trust me, man. This is one of a kind of ball. I think the only problem, like not a problem for PSG, but only problem like some PSG fans who hate on him is the price. It's just the price. I think
Yeah.
some people. I think that's the only problem I have. Like I think people would see like, oh, who is this guy? But like, it's not like he doesn't have that much hype because Benfica historically have a bigger like
Academy.
PR than Porto. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's why people hype up like the Joao Neves, Joao Felix and stuff. But I'm telling you, like this dude, Rodrigo Mora, like he's worth it, man. Like he is worth it, man. And I
I
would
mean,
love him to come. But I don't know how PSG. But like if you bring him to PSG though, I don't know how we like. I don't want us to like stop his growth.
yeah.
So would you want him to come stay on the bench at PSG or would you loan him out? That's why I don't know. Like,
I
and
mean,
I don't want to. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I don't. I think it's like a Gabriel Moscardo where we loan out to a team that barely plays in. Like
yeah.
like yeah.
No, we'll come more to like the reports and the prize.
Mm.
My opinion about it.
Okay.
But my opinion is, I mean, look, if a baller is available, you have to get him, and then it's your how can I say? It's your responsibility to make sure that he reaches his potential. And we've seen Paris Saint Germain sign many young players. Even Desiree Doué this season, like as you can see, the bottom left, they're saying he's 90% similar to Desiree Doué and Luka
Hmm.
Susic. I don't know who that is. And you mentioned Desiree Doué before. And when we signed
Yeah.
Doué in the summer, we're like, we don't really see him as a starter ahead of the 3 midfielders, ahead of the 3 attackers. It's going to be tough, especially when we signed Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. But Doué is just so good that he will take that road. And it's probably the same with Mora. If he's that good, if he's that talented, he will force Lucho's hands to play him more often. So
Mm.
I think the responsibility is in Lucas Rodrigo Mora, how well he performs, and then obviously he would put pressure on Lucho for to play him more often. But what we can see from the stat thing here is he likes that number 10 role. He can even play a bit deeper. 3 goals and 3 assists, obviously in 9 starts this season. 45 million market value, and that's the potential price tag we can also get him for. So it's not like it's above the price tag as you mentioned.
Mhm.
And he's best in proportion, touches in surface area, 100 in goal scoring, 100 in shots taken, 100 in dribbles, and 97 in progressive passes received. So he's a great outlet. He's a great goal scorer, and I think all of this is also compared to other players, not just under 23-year-olds or like his
Yep.
age range or something. So he's like competing against the best already.
Mm-hmm. At that young age, which is very remarkable, man. Which is very remarkable.
And here are his like data and B stats. You can see extremely high in assists and extremely high in non-penalty goals. That's a very rare thing. That's why the Messi comparisons you made before suit him a bit. Because usually, the youngsters they have good key passes, attacking actions, dribbles, but they struggle when it comes to assists and non-penalty goals. But that's
Yeah.
his that's his strongest asset already.
Yeah, which is very crazy. Like I said, man. Even like when you watch him now, when he comes onto the pitch, like for FC Porto, if he's on the bench, like
Yeah.
he just feels like he looks like a professional already, like a grown ass professional. But he doesn't check it when you go online, check it, like this guy's 17. So like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like the ballers what we probably would have if we signed him. Like
No, I
he
mean,
looks like he looks like a gem. He's a gem. He's one of like he's a dying breed. I think he could like bring back to the like he could bring life like he can bring life back to the 10 basically. He can bring life like
yeah.
not people say oh the 10 is dying, the 10 is dying. He could be the one that like that forces teams to use the 10 more now because he's that good.
Would you, apart from like Due in our team, is there any other player you would compare him across Europe's top 5 leagues?
Oh, what can I say? I'm thinking.
Mm,
It's hard. That's hard. That's hard
So
because
you wouldn't compare him to like a Musiala or Verts? You think they're a bit deeper? Like they're more
in the sense
playmake?
like his like him and Musiala have the same dribbling, but Musiala is like he's not like an explosive dribbler. That like I'm looking for explosive dribblers that could play as a 10. I'm looking across Europe right now. We don't have that much other than maybe a do it.
Yeah.
Maybe like I'm also thinking about like not someone over 6 foot. Like I'm thinking. Honestly, all I have in my head is like a name. I don't have past players. I have a Neymar. I see somewhat of Ribery. I have also like I said, a younger Messi. Maybe just maybe this dude. What's his name again? That's left my head. A little bit of when he plays on the right hand side, a little bit of Pedro, like Barca's Pedro. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. That's the only thing I see. And maybe yeah, maybe a little bit of Pedro. Yeah, I'll say Pedro.
All right. I mean,
I'm about
those
to
are
say,
all
I'm
top tier
about to
comparisons
say,
for him.
I was about to say Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal, but he doesn't have the physique
Ooh.
of Sanchez. I'm about to say, but he doesn't have the physique of Sanchez. Maybe, but again, he can grow into that because he's like, well, he's like, what's that? Yeah, like a watered down Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, he could play that whenever he plays like in like as a second striker.
But I mean, you finding somewhat difficulties to compare him to other players just shows like how unique of a
Unique he
profiler
is,
is.
right? Yeah.
You would say he's probably more of like a I don't know, a classical football player. Like footballers like him used to exist more often, maybe 15, 20 years ago than now.
Yeah, he's more like a classical football player, but that has evolved into what the modern day requires because again he can run for days. He's not like a Bernardo Silva who's like just like a workhorse. He's just a work dog, but like creativity. He's someone like a run, still create, still dribble, who still have that flair, who can still do the elasticals, who can still like the develop like he still has that flair and the requirements of being an athlete of modern day football. I
And
mean,
then
like
having the efficiency as well.
the efficiency as well. So like some people gonna be like, I'm yapping, I'm hyping up like this guy just 17. Who this guy? But, like, trust me, if this dude like he has the qualities, get and probably like in an environment that supports him, this could be a Ballon d'Or winner. Yeah, I know it's early, but yeah. But this could be a Ballon d'Or winner because I don't say something with Joao Neves because Joao Neves is going to be deeper, but players that are always closer to goal will always
Yeah,
be favorites for Ballon d'Or and stuff, man.
100%.
But yeah, but this guy has the potential to be a Ballon d'Or winner. But the thing about him is that he just needs to escape injuries and make the
Yeah.
right career choices. That's all he needs to do. He has the qualities to be the Ballon d'Or winner. Yeah.
Um, Looking ahead of what I mentioned before, he 7 goals in 9 games for the under 19th Porto youth team when they got knocked out by Milan in penalties, showing that obviously under 19 is not the same thing, but at under 19 level, he was insane. Like Porto are usually one of the best teams in the under 19, and he was their best player, which just shows like he is one of the best talents coming through the ranks, one of the best 17-year-olds as well.
Yeah. Mind you, you know why this is so funny? The
Right.
person that knocked him out for the under 17 stuff is the same person that knocked him out in this competition as well. The same striker.
Oh, is that Kamada?
Yeah. It's the same striker. Oh, that's funny, man. I think they'll probably have like a rivalry. I think they'll have a storyline between the two over time. Yeah, well, that's a
All right,
funny situation. Yeah.
interesting. Going into the reports more linking Mora with Paris Saint Germain, this was obviously said very early on. Exclusive Rodrigo Mora enters Paris Saint Germain for next summer. Age 17, the Portuguese phenomenon attracted Luis Campos, who began to approach his entourage. No firm offer, but a clear start of interest. And then it was mentioned Luis Campos has successfully approached the representatives of Rodrigo Mora. PSG were very offensive in the first exchanges. And then obviously this big report from Luis Coelho, 51. PSG is willing to pay the release clause of Rodrigo Mora, 45 million is a bargain. He obviously has a 45 million release clause that will rise up to 70 million when it goes past May. So Paris Saint-Germain and Luis Campos want to finalize this deal as quickly as possible. And we just checked his transfer market value is 45 million. And like 45, like Porto already want to like make his release clause even higher. And you mentioned before like some people being against his price. I don't like 45 isn't that. I understand like he hasn't done that much experience in football, like he's only started 9 games this season at professional level. But I remember when Madrid bought Vinny, I think he had 2 professional games like in the top tier of Brazilian football, and they still paid like 50, 60 million. So you're more paying it for the talent you see rather than what he's done in football.
Yeah, it's always like for all these guys, it's always an investment. Like you're buying the potential and the talent, like you said. So like, yeah, I am like I'm willing for us to like cash out. Like especially I know Luis Campos, the goat, who probably would want to buy him before they because Porto would want to extend him for like because that's 17 mil because they need a Premier League team like United because Ruben Amorim wants to do a Portuguese project as well.
Yeah.
So like, I know Campos will want to like cash out on which I want to buy him while he's like still 45 million. But I think like coming into the summer window, people like as a PSG fan, some people would want like a big striker or a big name to come into the squad. So if they see like a Rodrigo Mora coming to the squad, they will tweet at it like they will make tweets and they'll make gestures that like, oh, we don't need this guy, we have too many young stars, but like
Yeah.
he's like a gem right now amongst like trash, right? Like in the world of football, respectfully. That how good he is, man. So like some fans would be upset, but like I'm saying like just give it time and trust in him, man.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much money as well to spend in the summer transfer window. We can get the big name you mentioned. Like, I don't know if we're still going for a Salah and get Mora on top of that, a futuristic signing. And I haven't seen, I mean, I haven't shown any report here, but Luis Enrique is 100% interested in this player as well. And you've mentioned João Neves before. Like, Portugal are having a golden generation coming up. That should be even more guarantee that Rodrigo Mora will be a sensational signing. And to end it more, obviously, you have been a huge fan of Rodrigo Mora. The main reason why I brought you here, you've mentioned on June the 2nd, 2024, Star Boys Mora and Varela quoting, obviously, their under 17 team that you mentioned were really good that year, having Giovanni Quenda, Cardosa Varela, and Gabriel Silva.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I've been following like normally I always fall in love with the French talents, but there hasn't been any recent French talent, or maybe other than Akliouche that have come out. But I'm telling like the next golden generation is the Portuguese one, man. I think like teams like PSG and probably United are like they're like trying to like steal those talents quick before the rest of Europe already knows. I think that's why like even like if you look at our squad right now, we have a very Portuguese core. We have Nuno Mendes,
yeah,
we have Vitinha, we have John Neves, we have Gonçalo Ramos.
yeah.
Before that, we had Danilo Pereira and stuff. We had like five Portuguese players. So I think like over time we are gonna keep adding more. We're gonna keep adding more because again, maybe Thomas Araujo comes. Who knows? Like let's say like trust in the Portuguese players, man. Because right now I think like how every generation has a golden generation. I think Portuguese one is a low key golden generation in the making, but people don't wanna. People are not like chipping in to watch the games to see that.
100%. 100%. I mean, I said, I know way more about Rodrigo Mora now after talking with you, doing the research for this video and everything. And Luis Campos, we know his talent ID. The only thing I've sometimes questioned is, as you said, other PSG fans have said, let's go for more of an experienced name, someone that will be immediately impactful. I had my doubts about the Desiree Doué signing, even for 60 million. I felt at that time that was a bit too much, but that signing has completely proven me wrong. So from now on, if Campos wants to spend 45 million on Rodrigo Mora, he has full right to do so, and I will completely back the signing because yeah, we got to get our hands on him because Campos, that's something we can never go against. He has elite talent ID, probably the best amongst all sporting directors in the world. And the thing with Rodrigo Mora, it's not just us after him. Pretty much every single club, including gigantic clubs like Madrid, are after Rodrigo Mora. That should be enough proof that he is the real deal.
Yeah, I just hope like for talents like Rodrigo Mora, they can see what's happening to the likes of Arthur Güler and Endrick at Madrid, man. Say and look at PSG where we have like Mayulu and João Neves. If you go to a team like Madrid or Barca, you will not play. So like Madrid, you will not play. But
Yeah,
you're going to see like PSG, the biggest club in the world, you would play. You will wear Jordans. You play in Paris, and you play in the Champions League. You also play under a wonderful coach like Luis Enrique, who suits your play
yeah,
style and who
yeah.
will probably take you to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, we've even seen an old player in Osman Dembele reach heights I don't think he ever expected of himself. None of us as fans expected that he would reach these heights. And as you mentioned, the youngsters as well, the 17, the 18, the 19, the 20, the 21, 22, Bradley Barcola, João Neves, Warren Zaire Emery, all of these players are hitting their best ever seasons under Luis Enrique and in this Paris Saint-Germain team. And as you said, they're still competing for the best trophies, playing in one of the best leagues in Europe. This is a no-brainer
It's
from PSG
it's
and Rodrigo
it's
Mora's perspective.
it's a no-brainer. You also have your Portuguese boys as well, man. Your future teammates,
Yeah,
like
that comfortability. He can go there.
yeah.
Vitinha is already, one of the leaders in the team, and we've seen how he's taken João Neves underneath him. He will do the same thing
Mhm.
with Rodrigo Mora, and nah, this would be an insane signing for Paris Saint Germain.
Yeah, 100%. A 10 out of 10 signing if it happens, man. I hope it happens.
Agreed. Agreed. It's not even that expensive in today's market. I mean, Endrick, who was also a sought after youngster, he went from to Madrid for like 70 to 90 million euros. Rodrigo Mora, who's playing in a tougher league, has also shown great glimpses in the Europa League for only 45 million, especially with Porto wanting to, add on to his release clause. Yeah, it would be a perfect signing.
Yeah.
All right, then. David, thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully,
Nope.
everyone that has been watching this video can leave with, a great insight into who Rodrigo Mora is. Thank you, David.
No problem. Glad to help.
Rather, hopefully everyone that's been watching this video enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. If not, you can see David's Twitter account in front of you. You can tag him, add him or something, and ask him more questions about Rodrigo Mora if you want to. That's been it from Boy PSG. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. The insights of Rodrigo Mora, the magician, potentially coming to Paris Saint-Germain. The links are extremely strong, and I definitely believe he will probably be our first signing of the summer alongside Magnus Aklios. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, allez. Allez, Paris.
Party.